So recently on X, there's been this clip that's been circulating. I mean, it's gone viral. There's a YouTuber named Tommy G who goes around and interviews these gangbangers. And this one, I believe it took place in Oakland, California. And they talk about how they only specifically target Asian people. So check it out real quick.
How do you pick which house you want to go into?
But honestly, shout out to Asians. I love my Asians. Chinky, we need our bucks.
The same guy that we interviewed 2 days ago that is allegedly did home invasions, he says he targets Asians as well.
Looking for like some decently good cars, some cars you'll see a typical Asian in. You'll see them when they leave, when they come home.
For a separate episode I was working on, I interviewed another home invader that works in some of the same areas as this guy, and he also mentioned that he targets Asian people specifically. This caught my attention, so I wanted to understand what makes them say that.
The Buddha's outside the crib too, for sure.
He said the same thing.
You guys know each other?
Do not leave Buddha's outside your crib, bruh.
Buddha's, anything Buddha religious, we going in yours.
We in that shit, flipping mattresses, in your fridge, drinking your orange juice.
You've eaten someone's food in their fridge while home invading them?
Niggas be going days without eating, so when I go up in the house, when I was young,
Nigga, I'm on EBT right now.
Now, before we move any further in the video, I would like to address the very obvious thing. Why are you wearing a balaclava? Why not just show your whole face already? Well, it's because you look back just even 2 or 3 months ago, you could see how much political violence there is just throughout this country, and you see high-profile political activists, they're just being gunned down, and you see universities being shot up, and it's just, personally, I feel like it's gonna get worse than this, and it's probably gonna get out of control. Unfortunately, it looks like our politicians are mostly all talk and no action, because I've yet to see many of these violent offenders, get put in their place, and and personally, it's just something I'm not interested in right now. So that's why I have this balaclava, and I'm not a criminal, I'm not a robber. I'm just trying to obscure my identity. And speaking of robbers, that's the topic I want to talk about today. So you see in that video how that robber, he mentions that when they're going out looking for a home to break into, they're always looking for homes with the nice cars, right? And I speak with this with my own experience, and I think you could tell with especially my eyes, right? I'm Asian, especially this mask. It's really pulling my eyes apart, so I look even more Asian in this, actually, funnily enough. But anyways, that is true. Again, from my own experience, you see this a lot. A lot of Asians/Asian Americans, especially in the United States, they will be driving very high-class/luxury cars. I mean, you see it everywhere. Personally, in my experience, I see a lot of Mercedes. That's what my family has in California, right? Go down a bunch of houses, you just see Mercedes, you see Lexus, you see BMW, and nowadays you start to see Tesla. And I would say those 4 are probably the most common, most popular cars you see out there parked outside of their homes. And I could understand, yeah, it could make you a target because people look for those, and obviously when you see those type of cars, you think, oh, money. They have to have a lot of money. And I could see why it attracts, well, not very desirable people. And secondly, you could hear one of the guys, they say that, oh, we're looking for homes with Buddha statues or Buddha decorations. And I'm not Buddhist myself, but in the years that I've went to California for family reunions or weddings or whatever, yeah, you see, that's a very common thing you see out there. Just like right now, you see how homes, they'll decorate for Christmas, they'll leave the lights, in their windows, and you can see it light up at nighttime. Well, that's kind of what Buddhists do. I don't even know what it is, but they'll have the outlines of their religious symbols or something, and that's how you can tell they're Buddhist. That's a very real thing people look for if they're going to break into homes, and I know that by experience because some of my family members are Buddhist, and their nail salon actually got broken into because people were looking out for those type of things. This one, I guess their Buddha statue was somewhere in the shop. To be fair, they weren't there during the event, but you'd figure they would try to add something else to make sure, maybe add bars to the window and doors, but they didn't. They paid for a glass repair, and guess what? Can you guess what happened after that? It happened again, but again, 2 kids went in, broke the window, and they went in and rummaged through the store again for the second time because they just knew that the people in that nail salon were easy targets. So they waited till it was dark, till there was no one there in the shop, broke into it again, and went looking for money for the second time. And you could hear in one part, the guy said, "Oh, we're gonna be flipping your mattresses." And I'm guessing he's referring to the giant wad of cash there, which again, it's every single one of these things they're saying is true. It's playing right into the stereotype, but it's true. A lot of Asians, especially elder Asians, they don't trust the banks and they would rather hoard a pile of cash, and they'll leave it in something, under their bed, maybe under the floorboard or something, maybe in a Quaker Oats thing. And again, I have a story to tell with that too. Is that one of my aunts? This is a different aunt, not the same one in the nail salon, but this goes right back to the nice car and the money. So let me tell you. So basically her nail salon was facing outwards and the parking is obscured completely from a solid wall. And she parked her car there. And that day, I guess, I don't know what kind of transaction she had, but she had a bag full of thousands and thousands of dollars in her nice luxury car. By the way, there were no cameras looking at that car. And there was a suspicious guy walking back and forth. And lo and behold, at the end of the workday, when went out to her car, what do you think happened? Yeah, that's right. There was just glass shattered everywhere at the bottom of the car. The window was smashed wide open. And the bag of money, poof, gone. Completely gone. So obviously she lost thousands of dollars. It was never going to come back. And the guy got away. Never found him. Because, it is LA, so not surprising. And so honestly, if there is one thing I would say is that you should get training in defending yourself. And I'm not saying in Kung Fu or something like that. Because, let's be honest, if they have a firearm pointed at your face, there's not a lot of ooh-ha kind of moves that's going to save your life. It's honestly just not going to do that. I would recommend probably picking up a firearm, and then not only that, but getting proper training with it so you know how to operate it and you know how and when to use it. And look, I get it. Maybe not everyone's cool with a firearm. So if someone doesn't want to use a firearm, my parents, they're afraid of firearms. So I said, hey, I'll pick you up something like this pepper spray over here. You just carry it with you so that at least if something happens to you, you have something to defend yourself with. And the last thing I would say is that you want to be situationally aware of everything. Just start trying to practice just being aware of your surroundings, because you see Asians a lot on the time they're on their phone looking down, not really aware of what's happening around them. If you look, it's probably not hard to find footage anywhere in this country of them getting attacked as they weren't aware of their surroundings. So that probably is going to be more effective than learning, say, math or piano or, school or anything like that. Being situationally aware is definitely going to help you no matter where you are in the world, as opposed to those other skills, which, by the way, I'd like to be good at math too. I'm not. Because let's be real here. I don't think anyone's going to be deterred if you are an accountant working at KPMG. It's just true. I don't think anyone's going to be deterred by that. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on that little short clip, and I hope you could take something away from it. And if you know someone who is maybe hesitant on learning how to defend themselves, hopefully this video will help them kind of open their mind up, because it's better to have all these tools, and look, if you never have to use it, great. That's exactly what we all want at the end of the day, is just to live in peace. But if trouble comes, then at least we're ready to deal with it and we don't get victimized. Because if we continue to kind of ignore these, kick the can down the road and just pretend like these problems don't happen, I can guarantee you it will only get worse. And if we don't prepare ourselves, we unfortunately will just continue to be picked off and robbed one at a time until there's nothing left to be taken. And that's the truth. And you know what they say about the truth, right? It hurts.